media and social networks will be fundamental method of communication as a marketing tool in the future, or do you maybe think it's a fad?
No, I don't think it's a fad at all.
So you think it's here to stay?
Definitely. We're using Twitter more now, so I mean, I talked about LinkedIn a lot, and we were using LinkedIn when you were here.
Yeah.
But we're starting to use Twitter a lot more now. And one thing that we've just done for the first time ever is on our conference program for ILMF, and I can send you a PDF of this of our catalogue if you want. But literally on the front, we've put our hashtag address on there, and we've on every page, like wherever the conference is and the poster program, we've put our hashtag there so that when people are just literally sitting in the room, they can just go in and put a hashtag about what they're, make a comment about what they're watching at the moment. And that sort of came about because we were at ELMF and Caroline was on Twitter and she noticed that somebody had just put a comment on Twitter. So one of the evolutions, Mimi, that we have been having a lot of debate with about Twitter is, so the way you promote Twitter accounts at the moment is, like, we've got a Twitter account called Ocean Business, for instance, or we've got one called the LiDAR Forum, I think, is it called the LiDAR Forum? No, it's called LiDAR Forum.
Right.
Our Twitter account is called LiDAR Forum. And so when you talk about our, so people can join and follow us at LiDAR Forum. So the address is at the @ LiDAR Forum, and that's how they follow us. But if they don't necessarily want to follow us and they just want to be on their own account, just talking about whatever they want to talk about, like talking about whatever, ranging from what they did that day and what they had for breakfast to what they're doing in business.
Yeah.
They can add the hashtag in. So we've started promoting the hashtag ILMF12. And we've had a lot of debate about what we put on our catalogue, about whether we would put at LiDAR Forum or whether we put the hashtag. And I said to Caroline, we reverted for the hashtag in the end. And one of the things that helped me figure this out was literally, have you been watching the Baker Brothers? The whole program. So if you look at that at the beginning of that program, they haven't got at Baker Brothers group or whatever you call it, like a site on Twitter. They literally, Tom Herbert and Harry, I think his name is, just have their own Twitter accounts and they're just putting hashtag Baker Brothers. So if you want to write anything about hashtag Baker Brothers, I go on to Versha Carter and just go, love the program, love the fact that it's putting Nelsworth on the map, hashtag Baker Brothers.
Which I'm sure you've done.
Which of course I have.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was so it's like the evolution of trying to figure it out. And I actually wonder, so we've had a lot of debate about whether or not we should be having the at LiDAR Forum thing at all, which we've all decided we might as well, because some people might want to just sign up to follow us all the time. But when we're actually at the show, we think people just might want to comment and not bother to follow us.
Exactly.
They just want to write a comment and then they can see everyone else's comment if they search for those comments. So we've promoted that hashtag.
Okay, yeah, that's exciting. Have you heard of something called CRM, Customer Relationship Management?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically a term that's been around for years and years. I mean, probably 20 since I've been it, and probably before. And that's basically first contact, really, in its contact side. When you're on when you're on just the contact screen, a customer relationship management tool is really your method of managing your customers, really, isn't it?
Well, it's got 3 objectives, like to acquire new customers, to retain current customers, and also to enhance the customer experience.
Yeah, so I guess that's like our sales side then too, isn't it? But yeah, I have heard about it.
So do you believe that utilising social media actually achieves these objectives in customer relationship management?
Yes. I mean, to be honest, it's not so much that, I mean, we do have, I'm not sure, our customers, whenever I talk about our customers, I talk about our exhibitors, those are our customers. but our visitors are customers on some level too.
Absolutely.
But we don't have that same intimate relationship with those, and we don't have an objective to try and get that either. So but we want to keep in their face, so that's where we use the things like Ocean Buzz and stuff, and Twitter and LinkedIn, because everyone's at different levels in their sort of adoption of social media. The more we put on there, so we will be targeting both our exhibitors and our visitors on those methods, and it's just about making sure that nobody forgets us.
That's quite interesting that you said that you think people are on different levels with social media right now. So you don't think we're all coming up to the same place, or?
Well, no, I've got like some really old blokes that, you know, that we sell exhibit space to. Well, I mean, even the whole conversation with about putting the hashtag on, I said to Caroline, we just absolutely have to have the word Twitter or like the symbol, because Alistair will just be going, hashtag IMF12, what's that?
Yeah.
Like, what is that? But he won't say that when he sees the Twitter sign. And we had the debate about whether we use just the Twitter bird or whether we use there's another symbol for Twitter. So we've opted for the bird.
Right.
I don't know if that's the right one, so...
Okay.
But that's what we've done. So it'll be interesting to see. Ask me after we come back to the show whether anyone did ask me what that was.
That's a really good point.
Alistair is definitely not. As our conference chairman, like, we'd like him to be on... Caroline started some debates on LinkedIn. We had a panel discussion about a fairly controversial issue. Well, in fact, it was about open source LiDAR, which is all about having LiDAR in the public domain via the website, so that when somebody does a survey of Denver or something, anyone can get that information, and that it's not all just private property. So especially if it's funded by government, that should just be available for somebody else to use in the future. So there was a big debate about that, and Caroline started off before we got there, just as an excuse to try and get some marketing, but she started off a debate on LinkedIn about it. And then one visitor wrote something about it that was really controversial and quite cutting. And we needed Alistair to get involved in this, but he's not really using LinkedIn. And, you know, he's not that unsavvy. No. But actually, that was interesting too. Caroline panicked with this situation. This is maybe a good, if you have a situation for case studies. So it's the first time we had this open debate, right? And we knew what we were doing. We knew that our panel discussion was controversial. So we knew by putting it on LinkedIn it was controversial. And Caroline was nervous because we didn't have the knowledge to respond to it. Like, luckily your dad did, right? Yeah. And Alistair wasn't responding to it. Anyway, the first customer that put a word on there was absolutely, like, so pissed off at Caroline's comment that he also was just kind of added some really cutting comments in there. Yeah. And Caroline was trying to get a hold of me, and I was unavailable or didn't answer my phone. I had the day off. I was on holiday in Cornwall, so out of range. And when she finally tracked me down, she'd already decided to remove his message. And I was just saying to her, Caroline, you can't remove the message. Like, you can't ask somebody for a debate and ask for their opinion.
When you don't like it.
Delete it.
Get rid of democracy.
Huh?
Get rid of democracy right there.
Exactly. So what we decided to do to handle it, because she just panicked really, what we decided to do to handle it was pretend that there was a third party person involved who was more junior than Caroline. Because I didn't want Caroline to look like in her senior role that she didn't know what
she was doing. Yeah.
So we pretended that there was a very junior member of staff.
Probably me.
Who had deleted it because they couldn't get hold of us. And so Caroline wrote this great apology email. Alistair then wrote an email. We hoped that he'd come to the show. I don't think he ever did. But and we asked him to repost it, because once you delete it, you can't repost it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that was a whole learning curve for us about how you've got to be ready for what you get, you know?
Yeah. Okay. however, so on that exact note, it has been inferred that social media